What's up, everybody? It's Cliff from Roundtable Studios with your animation stream for today. Today's going to be something a little bit different. So if you're new to the channel, what I do here is I make animation videos. And I do some behind the scenes, so you can go ahead and kind of get an idea of the flow of what I am working on. So today is going to be something pretty interesting. I'm actually working on a sort of like a cinematic trailer for this upcoming game called Coreupt. I probably should leave a link in the description so you guys can see it. But the owner or game dev behind it, Jesse, he hit me up and he wanted to see what I could do with his rigs and his original character. This character is called Destroy. It's pretty cool. He's got dreads, he's got a cape, he's got a massive axe that he can use with one hand. So what I'm going to be doing is kind of sort of making like a cinematic trailer for you guys here. Like it's going to be something like, introducing the character and showing off what he can do. So this is not the environment. It seems pretty bland, but this is just a piece of it because I'm not going to load the whole thing there because that would be unnecessary, and he's fighting no one, but I'm going to bring in the characters here. So a few things before we get into the stream, something so you guys can know what to expect. If you guys are expecting some cool epic animation like in the stream, I would suggest to go and just watch the animation at the end. Animation takes some time. Animation, like I like to take my time with animations. I like to make sure that everything looks right and everything is good. So I replay a lot. I make sure everything, looks the way it's supposed to look. So, I've gotten a couple comments in my previous streams about things taking a bit longer to get to the point and anything like that, but that's not what the stream is about. I wanted to make this for anyone who is starting in animation or just want to get it behind the scenes, like a real-time look. So and I'm taking this right from the beginning, so there's gonna be a lot of setup, a lot of opening moves. Maybe I could try to do my best to get to the cool stuff faster, but suggesting other animation programs for me to use or anything like that. I'm just here to do what I do best with what I have. So so that's it. So if you have any questions, I'm gonna go ahead and load up the bad guys or the good guys, because I believe Destroy is supposed to be an assassin. So I'm gonna load up and then I'm going to put them in. So if you have any questions, please load up in the questions in the chat, and I will answer them while I go ahead and bring up some of these guys. What's going on? Lego Spree Studios, Daniel White, Iris Black, appreciate it. I think you had a message, but you took it off. But welcome to the stream, guys. Let's see, I'm going to go ahead and bring up any of the characters. Let's see. Iris, animations are not fun to make, but fun to watch. Yeah, Iris. Yeah, it was just a little interesting getting a comment like that. I don't think that person meant any harm, but animation. I have fun making animations, but you're right in a sense. Like if you're here to be, I guess, entertained, I can entertain you. I'll go ahead and answer all your questions and get you inside facts and behind the scenes stories. But the animation itself is not going to be entirely that entertaining until the very end. So, yeah, that's pretty much how that goes. Benny Davis, what's going on? Is this for Coreupt fighting game? Yes, this is. I'm assuming you know what that, because you had the correct spelling. Just had to give me a couple of lessons to make sure I had to spell the name and get the name absolutely correct. So I'm assuming you're known about it already. Let's see. This is a good height. I mean, it's gonna be as good as height as any. I feel like he's a pretty tall guy. I wonder. I feel like there's a piece missing here. He's actually pretty tall. Well, there's no. But maybe I might have him just stand a little bit taller, make the adjustments afterwards in Unreal Engine. No biggie. I have learned from the previous streams not to not to bring Unreal open in the stream. I need to upgrade my computer to be able to open up my Unreal Engine and live stream at the same time. I'm not entirely there yet. Awesome, Benny. Yeah, he's a close friend. That's awesome. Yeah, I hope I do destroy some justice, at least in that regard. So let's go ahead and call him Red Shirt. I think he's blue, but I'll call him Red Shirt 1 or A. I think that's probably better. And Isa Gamer 24. Hey, can you give me a shout out? Hey, shout out to Isa Gamer 24. What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's go ahead. I don't think I put a character set on him yet. Or did I? Nope. Alright, so I'm probably going to only bring up 3 guys for right now. I don't particularly want to do more than that for right now, and I guess the more guys that come in, I'll go ahead and occupy the animation for it and kind of go back and forth. So Unreal is really nuts in that it requires some juice. Yeah, when I, by myself, I can definitely I can definitely operate Unreal Engine pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, but I believe in one of the previous streams, I brought over Link and Cloud Strife over to Unreal Engine, and it actually works fine. But I believe I closed out my and it was fine. But then for the Ruby stream, it might have something to do with the model. I think that that environment wasn't really optimized as well as maybe some of the other environments. So that just took a lot of memory that my computer just couldn't handle. But I am looking to make some upgrades. It's been about 2 years since I've had this since I've had this build, and I think it's about time to go ahead and get with the times and get some stronger parts. Let's see. Okay, so we got one more, and then we're going to start establishing some camera. So we got one more. Sweet. Hey, brand new Sharma, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, brand new. And Isa Gamer, yeah, no problem. Anytime. I'll give you a shout out. All right. Yeah, I'm not really too sure about the composition here. I'm probably gonna open up him up a little bit more. Right, that's the new guy, right? The new guy. That should be the new guy. I do not remember already. Let's see. Oh, and I also like to talk to myself sometimes. So if you see me just making random sounds, that is me talking to myself, figuring out what is going on. Let's see here. That's the... Yeah, just let me know here, right? Yeah, this is rig 1 and regular rig, so rig 2. Red shirt, C. Sweet. Alright. So now that's at least 3 guys in. We got 3 guys down, nothing too complicated. I'm going to go ahead and start bringing some camera to make some establishing shots, and then I'm going to go ahead and with some cool animation. And I'm trying to go as fast as I possibly can, at the same time making sure that I'm not making any mistakes, because that would be frustrating. So let's see, and let me know how the audio is, if you can hear me well, if the music's too loud, if it's too annoying, I can change it up. You know, let's keep it pretty open here. Okay, so I always like to make an establishing shot overviewing the overviewing the environment. That's kind of like my, I don't know, I've always learned that when you do an establishing shot, you establish the environment. So so we're gonna do our first cut here. So I believe here is good. Probably like nice here. Probably took about 5 seconds. Let me get my handy calculator so I know my timing. I should know this off the top of my head since I do these often, but I don't. So we got a nice little opening shot there. And from here, we'll probably do a side view, I would say. We'll do a side view of the guys running. I would like to do is, he let me know that Destroy is a teleporter. He can teleport in between worlds, so I can kind of have him messing around with whatever characters I want to have, and he's like an assassin. So I kind of like the idea of they kind of know he's coming, and he's just gonna come in anyway and then just wreck them all going to his target, which who knows what it is, but that's kind of my idea here. So what I'm gonna do here is set this nice pan. I'll make this 3 seconds instead of 5. It should be 72, right? So 195. So make it kind of pan in here. And he gave me a track too to base the music off of. I don't know if I want to play that yet, but the music doesn't pick up until I believe 30 seconds in, so we still have some time to really kill here, to build up the anticipation. I'm just trying to find the song real quick. Actually, let me pause the. I'm gonna pause the music here and play this music. Maybe not too loud. Oof. I hope it's not copywritten, because then. So it's pretty menacing music. I actually like the fact that. Yeah, that's about 7 seconds already, so that already feels like it's gonna take up like while this is going. And this is doing its thing. Oh, hello. That's not what I wanted. It's just a slide. Why would I do all that extra motion? There we go. So that already is about 8 seconds. So that kind of matches with whatever the music is. But no. So about 14 seconds in, it looks like the music hits another hit. So we will do and I'll bring the music back so that way you guys are not listening to me. So it's about 3:30, 3:35. So what I'm gonna do here is from here. So I wonder if these are too quick. Then boom, right? Yeah, that's probably too quick. We can probably even afford to make this 240, and then have it be a slow down once it gets to it. So a flat tangent, what that does is when it gets closer to it, it kind of slows down like a nice cinematic. Yeah. So from then, we're kind of covering all angles. So we'll go behind, and we'll show the. Oh, that might be a nice little. Until right there. Yeah, that'd be cool. So what I'll do is have this here, and then about 320. Yeah. We'll get to that middle spot, but I don't know if so that way at least when the teleportation or explosion happens, then it kind of lines up with some composition. So boom, that is way too fast, so we'll do this here, and maybe I don't know, super slow, right? So okay, I'll put the music back on. So now that we have that, let's pose my man. He's going to be carrying his, because I know this is going to be higher. So we're going to do that, and what I'm going to do is I'm looking for my reference. Perfect. Perfect. And I'm going to pose him getting ready to walk in the so I'm probably going to do something, I was thinking about it, where he's kind of he comes in, and I probably have Jesse. Hey, speaking of, what's going on? Jesse's in the stream. Everyone say hi to Jesse Wright. He is the creator of Destroy and of Coreupt, the video game. So if you have any questions about the game, definitely feel free to ask him. He's right there in the chat. But I'm probably gonna have him teleport. I'm gonna probably have him teleport, and he's gonna kind of walk out the teleportation. So now I don't know really if he's doing like a Thor like beam teleport where you can kind of walk out of the beam, or if it's, I'm not too sure. I think that's probably what I would imagine, or I was even thinking because he's like fire based, it'd be kind of cool if he could, like, if an explosion just happens, he just walks out the smoke. That would just be so ridiculously unnecessary and badass. It'd be great. So I would like that to happen, but of course I will double check with him. He's, you know, I don't know, you know, this is the first time I'm making something that's not either my own creation or of a canon that I already know. So it's weird because it's like, okay, I want to do certain things with the character, but I actually don't know if the character is able to do so. So it's fun. It's fun. So I'm like, okay, so what can he do? What can't he do? So it's so fun to kind of work on that. Yeah. Let's just put this in his hand. And make this here. Alright, so let's put him off balance. No, not what I wanted. Not what I wanted. Nope. Where is his spine control? There it is, inside of his arm. And what that's gonna do is give me the ability to make him go off balance. And lean onto his... Right, so right now, for anyone who is new to animation, right now what I'm doing is just the first phase, which is considered posing. So I'm setting up everything right now. It's just the first couple of poses, just making sure that, you know, especially if this is going to be his entrance. Oh, he comes in with a fire tornado. That's awesome. I wanted to be here just in case I had any questions. He's now a teleporter. He would blow up the spot with fire on entrance. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, whatever. So a fire tornado. That's better than an explosion. What is it? Like, I had an explosion. It's a fire tornado. That's badass. Hey, what's going on, Isa Gamer? Did you know you're making my dream to be an animator come true because you made a video what is best laptop for 3D animation, and I'm gonna buy it. Of course. Well, thank you. I hope you you can be able to create animations and creating laptops. The reason why I made that video is a little bit closer to home. So anyone who's not new may have heard this before, but I'll explain it. I actually didn't have I just made this PC for the first time 2 years ago, but before that I actually only animated with a laptop, and a lot of my animations from the past on my channel, like Megazord vs. Voltron, if you guys are familiar with that, that's probably one of my bigger animated videos. I made that with using a laptop. Now, it was hell, of course, you know, because a PC is obviously better for animation, but, you know, I did make it happen. I feel like a lot of people sometimes feel like, you know, laptops are inferior and you are not able to use it, but sometimes when you're on the go, it's sometimes all you have, you know, and I kind of wanted to share my experience of using a laptop, and just, you know, if that's the only thing you have available to you, that's, you know, here's some options that you have. So I'm definitely glad that you're able to do that, and you know, hopefully we'll see some animation videos in the future. Let's see, fire tornado, that's awesome. I'm still stuck on that. So we'll go ahead and 30? Sure. Oh, forgot I was still doing that. Let me just get off the camera here. I do want to hide this though. This is not necessary anymore. It's so big. Nope, can't hide it. I'll have to ask the rigger to make a control to hide it, because it is big and unnecessary. Okay, but I'll work on it for right now. This is just able so I can move the character anywhere I want without having to worry about selecting each individual control. So, but all right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next step. Taking it one step at a time. That is it. Just kind of walking in smooth, cool. You know, walking is gonna probably stop and kind of just show up on the bad guys or the good guys. I keep thinking that they're gonna be bad guys, but they are not. They're probably gonna be the people trying to stop this man. Let's see what we got here. Move this back a bit. Yep, and once again, I'm just establishing poses. Nothing entirely cool yet, but it will be there. Let's see. Oh, he is tilting there. Let's see what we got. Yeah, so he's doing way too much here. So we gotta tighten this up. First of all, let's make this a fist. Sweet. Awesome. So then that should be okay. So that one's better. It's probably still tilting a little bit, way too much. I want to make sure the weight is good, but at the same time, he is a badass. So he can't be wavering like that. No, I think that's good. It's the first pose. It's way too tilted. I wonder why he's still tilting like that. It's just not. That's why. Awesome. A Fanvex is here. What a night. Watching animate while I animate. Yeah, that's kind of like, at first I thought, I can make a stream where everyone is kind of like learning and paying attention. I figured, I'm like, you know what? Instead of trying to pressure to make it an educational stream every single time, then maybe this is kind of can be more of a, like if you guys are being creative and if you just want to kind of have like a nice little community so you guys can have other people to talk to and see a process of how I animate, then it's kind of interesting too, and also it's also nice because I feel like a lot of animators feel like, they look at bigger anime. I'm definitely not there where I'm like, oh, I'm just like a big time animator, but sometimes a lot of animators at home think that oh man, like this must be, you must be doing something completely different. I'm like, no, you know, I probably just spend a little more time. Now we're talking. You see, there we go. So his shift is, so what I'm looking for, so anyone who's actually, you know, trying to learn animation, what I'm looking for here is a shift in his hips. Right, so he comes in on one hand, and then you see how this angle here, this is the angle I'm looking at. He comes in here, and then it shifts to the other side, right? You see the green? This green line. So here, and then it shifts to the other leg, right? So the weight is on the weight's on this leg right now, right? And it's going to shift to the other leg once he goes over. That's what I'm looking at, right? So that's the curve I'm looking at. Of course, I can go into the other thing, and then this is gonna pop because he's got to lift over, whichever. But that's what I'm looking at first. So that's what's gonna give it the, not only is it gonna give it the weight, but now you see that the coat automatically kind of like goes with it. So when I add the secondary animation to it, it feels a little more natural than if I kept it straight and tried to make the coat do its own thing. So that's what I'm looking for. And then the torso has to do the opposite. So if it's here, then this is kind of got to be then it's kind of be at this side but tilted forward, right? Because he's still kind of doing that, right? And then it goes to the other side here, right? One, then here. So, but then not have his head sacrifice. Good, much better. I like the fact that he kind of opens his arm here. So we're probably going to be doing poses, just very, very raw poses here. I'm probably not going to do any cleaning on this particular stream, but depending on how long, you know, let me know if you guys like it. You know, I was trying to get this out to Jesse sooner than later, but if this is something that, you know, you guys are liking and change it up versus, you know, watching the Ruby stream or some of the other tutorials, let me know, because this is definitely a character that would be cool to teach from, because not only is it a long-range heavy weapon that he's going to be using very lightly, but he's going to be facing a lot of different opponents. So, what's going on, D. Martin? Welcome to the stream. I hope you're having a good one. All right. So, now we're going to get to the point where he puts down his foot, which is not going to be very long from where he's at. So let's do 3 frames, right? That looks about good. Sounds about good. Now I'm fully aware that there's no floor here. That happens. That's fine. I think I forgot to export it from Unreal. I must have just exported everything else, and I guess from a snapshot it just looked like I had the floor here until I put him down. So I will probably import it later and then fix his feet placement if I have to. But you know, right now I'm kind of doing this whole imaginary floor thing here. So I don't recommend you guys do that. I recommend if you guys are missing the floor, you do it. But because we're in a stream, I don't want to open up Unreal and that makes it lag. I don't want to go through that again. So, so now, right now, for sure, I need to lift this leg up. What's going on, David? Welcome to the stream. I'm down to see more of this. I'm welcome. Okay, cool. You know, let me know if you guys are, yeah, you guys are down. You know, actually, Jesse, if you're still in the chat, let me know if that's okay, or if you particularly want this out to be faster. You know, hey, listen, I'm just here taking advantage of the time because I'm home all this time. If anyone else is home, I'm like, hey, listen, like right now, you know, I don't have to too much work to do. Might as well take advantage. So what is what I'm looking for my reference. I think this looks pretty badass. Like, look at it. He's about to come in and he's about to wreck shop with a massive axe, and then all these people in T poses. What's not epic about that? So, okay. So at this point, his weight should be fully anchored here. Fully anchored here. I will be making adjustments to this. I just want to get the pose down. Yeah, that's good. And then the weight of the axe, though he can lift it with one hand, should be leaning in forward. So, oof, that doesn't look good. So let's. So let's do, well, I don't want to clean. That's a little poppy, but that's supposed to happen for now while we're just putting in poses, and then once we get to cleaning, we will clean it up. But I just kind of want to get the general placement. And actually, I probably want to get the camera, right? That's probably animating to the camera here, and that's probably what I want to make sure what's happening. If he's coming in a fire tornado, okay, let me put this environment in its own little like layer here. Okay, that should make it a little bit easier to respond. So we have here, here, and then I guess once the tornado happens, which could be here, right? I need to figure that out actually. What was the question again? Would you be okay with me showing more streams like this, or would you want me to kind of get this out quickly? You know, it's kind of up to you. Or even I could probably give it to you in pieces, and that way you can release it short of, I don't know, it's really up to you. When you animate fight action scenes, you do it all at normal speed and edit after, or something else? What is your process for this? Yes. Yes. When you animate fight scenes, do you do it all at normal speed? Well, yes. I mean, if I have a slow motion part, it's better to animate it in slow motion instead of slowing it down, because sometimes the footage, because it's still footage, you know, at the end of the day, it's still images. So if you try to slow down a rendered image versus live action, it's still going to do the same effect if it's not done correctly. So it's probably better off to do it. It's probably better to do it in animation, and in that way, at least it looks fine. But yeah, I do everything normal speed. Sometimes I speed it up. I rarely try not to do that anymore. But if I speed up, it's very, very slightly, just to make it seem more intense. But I do animate in normal speed. What's going on, Sam? I'm curious, what's the specs of your PC? I'm currently piecing together parts for a build, struggling to pick between a Quadro or GeForce card for character modeling using ZBrush. Quadro GeForce card for character modeling. Graphics card. My PC is very, very, very budgety. I'm not gonna lie to you there. I'm definitely pushing the most out of my PC I have a GTX 1660. I'm looking to get either an Radeon 5700 or a 2080, but I'm probably going to lean onto the Radeon just because it's cheaper, and the extra in performance that the GeForce is going to give me is not worth, for me, it's just not, like, what's a 2080, like $800, $900, depending where you go, and then the 5700 is like 400. Like, I like to render, but the extra speed in rendering for the extra minute I save, I'm not gonna spend 400. Like, maybe in the future I'll like, oh my god, I need that extra minute, but I'm not gonna do that. But so for you, I'd probably be, if you have, depending on your budget, I personally would go for NVIDIA. NVIDIA and the GeForce 2060, 2070. If you have the funds, feel free to go to a 2080 or a 2080 Ti. But I think the 2060, 2070s will give you exactly what you need, without necessarily having to go too crazy into your budget. All right, thanks, Jesse. So yeah, if anything, if this is something that, you guys enjoy, I'm definitely going to go ahead and keep doing this, or alternate, between this and the other streams, that way it's something different. So every other project I'm working on, actually, which would be kind of interesting, is if every, 3 times a week, maybe one time I work on this project, then another time is Ruby, but then it's like, oh, okay, cool, one of the tutorials coming. But, I'm kind of playing around here, seeing what you guys like, what I like for the channel, so. But Nathan Ramos asked, when you animate, do you add music before, meaning you animate with the music, or after? That's a very good question. I animate with the music as I'm animating. I tried to import the music into the scene itself, but it just didn't work. But it didn't work, so I'm kind of just listening to, I have the music here. I don't want to necessarily play it too much, but it's here, very destruction-y, and once the music kicks up and the tension builds up, I have the music ready here. So I usually animate the music, and a lot of the cuts that I've had are with it. So I'm just kind of going through the process here. But the more you animate to music, not only would I be able to help you choreograph, missed my words there, choreograph better, but it'll be able to make the animation a lot more dynamic, because you'll be able to kind of go back and forth. All right, I'm answering a lot of questions here. I'm not doing any animating. It is tough. It is definitely tough to go back and forth. But let's go here. Oh, the fire tornado. I'm trying to figure that out. You know what? I think I'm going to just do the walk cycle, or the walk and stop, because he's gonna stop and twirl his weapon. I'm probably gonna just do that, and then time the fire tornado another off screen, and then that way I can adjust the animation afterwards. So once you do in here, yeah, nothing too crazy. It's just a walk cycle. But I'll try to make it as cool as possible. 8, so 40. Yeah, he's not gonna be walking for too long. He's just gonna kind of be walking out of the tornado, which Jesse has said is his teleportation method, which is really cool. And not to worry about the cape here. Once I do the passes for the cape, his cape will not be intersecting with his foot. But let's look at this character design. Like, look at these boots, man. Oh man. Like, I was looking at the model, and if you guys follow me on Instagram, like, I was posting renders of this model, and I'm like, man, this is a nice model. This is nice. It's so cool to work with something that looks this cool. Like, it's almost like no matter how hard you try, you can't make this guy not just look cool. Like, what? Like, I'm just walking. Look, he just looks so terrifying. I'm literally just walking. So, all right. What I can try to do. You know, at this point, I believe we're gonna start moving his hand back. His hand gonna start moving forward. Shifting the weight. Yeah, we got a lot of work there. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to get through the beginning so I can get at least to the first couple attacks to award you guys for watching me for so long. So, so I might just do a couple placeholders. Done. So let's do. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah, and also if I'm quiet, weird thing, if I'm quiet, I'm concentrating. Sometimes if I'm talking to myself, I'm concentrating. It gets weird things like the animator's workflow, you know. So sometimes I feel like, oh, maybe I should be talking, you know, just so you guys are not bored. But just want to make sure this all looks good. Hey, right now I'm making stop motions, but when I get my computer and make 3D animations, would you like one day to be a voice actor for my animation 3D and stuff? I don't know if I don't know if I have the voice for any particular character. I don't know if I'm very good at acting. I can animate, but I don't know if I can act. You're probably better off finding some probably better suited people, trust me. I don't know if I tried that. Some robotic. I even tried voicing some of my own. You know, actually pretty talented. So who is it? Is it Devil Artemis? I believe right here on YouTube. He does the perfect cell animations. And he voices. Oh no. And I couldn't. I could not do that. Couldn't. So boom, boom. Oh yeah, that's nice and clunky. Look at that. I feel like that's also super fast. Nice and clunky. let's retime some of this so it's not so clunky. Okay, just trying to get my reference in order. Okay. See, 10:5. So let's do this. Kind of slow down some of this so he's not moving so fast. So this is 20, so that is 5. Yeah, let's even this out a bit. That should kind of make it, yeah, nice and still very clunky. Very clunky. But I am sort of wanting to get to the action part. Come on, I think you can do it. No, you have very much confidence in me, Isa Gamer. Much confidence. Let's see. Let's get this. Let's get this down so it's not so much. The walk is there, and I'm cleaning my animation when I should be just making poses. Is what I'm doing. Cliff, what is your dream in life? The thing you want to accomplish? Man, that's major. What do I want to? What's my dream? Thing I want to accomplish? I guess. I guess my main goal is to do this. You know, to animate. I'm assuming you mean as far as animation, of course. You know, I've always wanted to make videos and of course original characters. Who doesn't, you know, I believe that if you're any type of artist, especially in this type of field, you always like, oh man, I want to, you know, be able to make my own characters. This is almost like playing, you know, action figures but with a computer. You know, this is kind of the same thing. This is really no different, just that you get to, you know, make it look realistic and cool like they do in the movies and video games. So I kind of, you know, what I would like to make my own series and animate it and kind of just, you know, live out my dream of just creating or playing with visual action figures. That would be cool. That would be, you know, just kind of doing this full time and kind of just being able to, you know, make videos or make animations, but not necessarily in the studio. Like I've definitely. Oh yeah, look at that. That looks good. Especially if I do something like, because you have to remember, like the camera is a very tricky thing. Like right now it looks janky and stuff like that because of the very very wonky walk cycle I have going on here, which will be cleaned of course. But imagine if I take this, right? I take this out of here. And I do something like put this here, and then I put this at here. I don't even know if this is going to be the shot, but we'll slow this down a bit. Still too slow. Oh, too fast. It's still too fast. I need to slow this down. I'm in a rush. But we're having fun. Say Sachin. Sorry. Oh man, I do not want to mess your name up. I'm just gonna call you Sachin. I hope that's how you pronounce it. How do you deal with the gimbal rotation problem? Gimbal rotation. I believe, isn't that when the rotation does something that it's not supposed to be doing? Right? That's right. I think that's what. I believe that's what he's talking about, right? Like say if I try to rotate it here, and then he does something, it doesn't do that, right? Like that rotation problem is what he was referring to. Right, because what happens is it's supposed to just go straight, but instead of it's doing its whole weird rotation. It's just a curve. Curve has to be edited. You just go to animation. Well, this is a Maya only problem. So anyone who has Blender and 3ds Max, this is not the same for any program. But I just go to the graph editor, curves, thing called Euler filter. That usually does the trick there, and then doesn't do the trick there. If that doesn't do it, then I just look at the rotation to find out which one is doing the weird move, right? And if that's the case, right, we just kind of figure out exactly what that motion is, right? So if it's here, then we just try to adjust it. Adjust the curve, right? And this is super cleaning. I'm just kind of doing this for a tutorial. I probably should be waiting for this for later, but you get the idea. You just clean up your curve, right? Just probably need to move it up a little bit more. So it looks as natural and even as possible. Right, so your curve then becomes a lot more even, and then you should be able to. I wonder. No, you probably can't, right? Because I kind of adjusted it to it. You should be able to then manage your curves and do it that way. But that's how I do it. So actually, let's go back to wherever this was. Okay. Okay. Yeah, he's good there. Nope, not necessary. Okay. Yeah, I'm not. He's not going to take too many steps here. I don't really particularly need him to walk up on them like that. So I'll probably just have him stand and get ready for these now. So let's see. Oh, that was loud. Sorry about that. Oh, I need to shut these off. Why are they coming up like this? Oh my goodness. Hope they stop coming. Okay. I hope I shut those off so those won't be an issue anymore. My apologies for that, guys. Good, so now it's time to slow down a bit, right? So what we'll do here, gonna lead into there. And then we're gonna start with open up the arm and having him put it behind his back. That's the signature pose for my man Destroy here. Perfect. And then we'll do here is position a little bit to the side. Angle him forward. Angle his head forward. Angle is here. So he's going to step forward. And he's actually going to position his body. Nope, not that way. Position his body sideways. Or maybe I'll do that in a bit. I'll leave where his foot was. I'll put this down. Good. So put his foot down because this is a very wonky looking foot here. Done. When you animate, what do you use? Do you use Blender? No, I use Autodesk Maya. Maya is my weapon of choice when animating. I know that a lot of people use Blender. Blender is very popular. It's very powerful as well. I just don't use it. I use Maya instead. Oh, frames are off. Frames are super off. And then he'll bend it. Once he settles, I'm going to put his weight there. 405. He settles into the main pose, which is here, and then he kind of just angles it backwards, right? Don't necessarily want to do too much here. I gotta shut up my rigger here for a second. I know he went in on this rig. He put, I know it's not true muscle deformation, but when this guy flexes, first of all, they put the detail on this guy's arm, which is great. When he flexes his muscle, his bicep comes up as if he was really flexing, because that's what your arm would do. So I gotta appreciate him putting it in there. Looks a little weird when it comes to this part, but At least this part is correct. So therefore, when you go to this part, this upper bicep would be exposed, whereas it normally would just be kind of straight. It wouldn't be exactly the same. So I definitely got to give him props for putting that in there. That's the first time I've seen it. I don't think I noticed, but I did. I definitely did. Shout out to Lee Baker. Perfect. So that's my my battle pose, which I'm going to tighten up a lot here. Get this forward a bit, and then we're going to get this guy's weight to shift forward and back. That way it's a little more even. Still feel like this leg is too forward. Or maybe it's just me, because everything else looks pretty good, but for some reason from this angle it doesn't. But that could be just me. Is Maya free? The student version is. There's some limitations to the student version, but Blender is the free animation program. So I definitely suggest you using that. Though I don't use it, I suggest to use that. Okay, cool. So very wonky here, the animation, because I wanted to kind of get, very stiff, super stiff. But I kind of wanted to get the flow of it. I feel like it needs to be slowed down a little bit. But it's kind of got the flow of it pretty nice. So, were you told what to do, or did you pin this out yourself? Oh no, Jesse gave me complete freedom. Or did you plan this out yourself? Yeah, no, Jesse gave me complete freedom to do what I want with the animation for this one. But if this is gonna be something that he's planning to share with his obviously with people who are familiar with the game or the comic series, I particularly want to make sure that it's canon. I don't want him to do moves that that he can't do, or stuff that that's referenced from the because it's cool. That's the same idea of if Spider-Man started to, I don't know, shoot webs from his feet, that isn't necessarily, that's not canon, so I want to kind of do the same thing here with this character. So I've been asking him a lot of questions about what he can do, what he can't do, that way everything I do kind of looks the same. So 88-bit Cube Yoda's character's insane. It sure is. Nice work. Yours? It is not. It is it is the work of a video game called Coreupt. The creator's name is Jesse Wright. He is in the chat. And he is the one who commissioned me to do this animation. So, alright, so now that he's got his walk cycle here, we'll clean that up later. I want to establish more camera. So, I am going to do a couple things here. Where's my camera? My camera's not here. So this shot here, I like this opening. I just don't know if I like how quick it is. So here, and I for some reason like him being on the right side. This side is not. It's you're seeing this part of the, it's a relation. So rule of thirds. So the characters here, the characters here. The fact that this is here, that's not the main part of the staff, bothers me, because this is the part of the staff we should be paying attention to. So what I am going to do is move him over here, which means I believe some of the angles I have to shift around for the rule of thirds, but I'll do that later. Here, right? Because this, no, yeah, none of this. I gotta do the whole thing over. Let's see. Nah, it's not too bad. So from here, I'm gonna shift this over on this side. Actually, even better, I'll have shifted here, and then he can kind of walk into frame. Alright, so here, so 430 would be good. So I kind of want to end here like it does in the image that I put out. So I think a higher would be better. And then a flat tangent for sure. That way it's good. Is this Maya? And if so, what is great about it and what are some problems with it? Good question. What's great about it and what problems does it have? I guess what's great about it is that, I don't know. I mean, it's compatible. I mean, yeah, but that's a lot of programs these days. I don't, particularly no. I'm a firm believer of whatever program you have, you can make the most out of it. If you can draw with a pen and a pencil, it's one thing. Of course, it has its advantages. I just don't use any other 3D programs. I mean, if using the generic knowledge of it. Yeah, this is, the quote unquote program of standard for the industry. So, so you have Maya that, if you want to be able to go into the film industry or the animation industry, this is the program you're going to be using. So if you want to use a program that actually is being used, then this is the program that you want to go ahead and go with. But I guess the problems with it, I think that most people's problems with it is that it has a lot of out-of-date mechanisms or processes, and I know Blender is upgrading every 6 months. So, Blender has a lot of different things that I guess Maya can't particularly do, but they're both good for, for what they need it for. It's like it really depends on the animator. That's not what I wanted to do with it. I'll take this. I'm just switching over the for the 180 rule. That way my film people can understand why I'm doing this. Actually, from here, and we'll end with everything here. Did you ask the creators what kind of moves he was capable of? I didn't necessarily have to. On Jesse's page, he has gameplay. He has a lot of gameplay of the character's moveset, of what the character can do. So I'm probably gonna be stealing a lot of the stuff from there. Might as well use the game. Might as well use the moves he can use in the actual game. The only thing doing is putting a cinematic flair and a sword on sword storyline portion of it. Like, I know that he the way I know, like he does enter, I believe, into the fighting arena in a fire tornado, but I don't know if that's how he actually traveled or that was just some cool effect to showcase the character. So, yeah, so I'm kind of just going to use a lot of the stuff from the Instagram to fuel it. So what I'm going to do here as well, this shot I may change, but what I'm going to do is yeah, this shot definitely needs to change, so I just don't know what it is yet, but boom here. Alright, that shot's gonna get changed, but this at least it fills the rule of thirds. Sweet. I'm gonna save this bad boy. And your compositing skills are solid. Thank you. Thank you. So I believe here he appears here. So let's go ahead and hide the character. So you don't see him at all. Here you don't see him. They're prepping for him. They know he's coming. Fire tornado happens here, which I'm going to cut that once I kind of research the effect and see what it looks like. Then I'll be able to know what the camera does. So when he comes in here, which I will adjust. 10, right, boom. Then he kind of comes in out of the flames. And he's like, surprise. So, all right. And once that is done, we want to do more camera. I mean, it's going to be a lot of camera. Mind you, I'm going to the music here. So, let me pull up my music for another time for you guys. So, once I do... Whoop, what was that? Not what I want to pick here. So, I'm going to pause the audio here. And once I actually get to the part of the music that it's happening, then he's going to make moves. So I'm kind of like trying to kill time times 24. Yeah, it's about 8:65 until the beat drops. So we're about halfway there. So this could be enough more anticipation until the beat drops. But let's see. I'm trying to stop the music here, but it's not obeying me. Obey. Sweet. So once we get to here, where's my music? Where'd it go? I gotta find it. Awesome. Alright, so this is my song here. I probably should have timed it together, right? So if I timed it together, well, it's not even playing at 24 frames per second, so I don't know. So this is where I would have the flyer frame come out. Still walking too fast. So then now it continues going on. So it should be good. Amping up. Boom. See? Yeah, I know that time. I'm good with my timing. I'm perfect. And so as soon as it hits here, so I have all of this time to go ahead and build up anticipation. So I do want to make this slower, and then I already knew that beat was going to go ahead and correlate with the teleportation. Then it's going to come into here. So once we establish that, I can always slow him down. I'm not really worried about that. But what other cool shots can I add? Let's see. guess to look at his weapon, right? And more compositing. But let's see. I guess how long should this particularly take? Looking at the music. Let's see, it'll take about 4 seconds. We'll take about 4 seconds. Where's my calculator? From where you studied all starting point. I am assuming you mean educate, like school-wise? Like where did I study my animation? I went to school for it. Went to a university for it, but, and I am very positive that no one from my university is probably watching, but if you saw what my animation reel looked like when I graduated, I do not think you would think it's the same person animating this stream. That is for sure. I do not want to do an overhead shot. That is going to make him look weird. I want to keep everything low. Makes it look more menacing. What shot would I do here? I could do like a side thing here to kind of like, I don't know. So here, we'll do 4 seconds. We'll do this shot. I kind of want to change I'm definitely going to change that there. The focal length. This is now we're getting into some advanced techniques here for sure. So we're going to change the focal length. So therefore when I zoom in, I can still see the characters. So the focal length changes the lens on the camera. It's the same for animation as it would be for film. I don't want to do too much here because then you can't see the characters. So we'll do it here. And then what this is going to do is I'm still going to keep this thing in frame here. I'm going to keep the bad guys looking at him. But luckily for me, I'm going to be doing, he's got nice, oh yeah, he's got some dreads here, so I'm gonna be able to have some nice some effects here with the wind, so it's gonna look pretty cool. I am not going to lie, this is gonna be awesome. So I believe a pull-in shot here is good. 4 seconds. Oh, I just noticed that there's no music in the background. Guys, I've been listening to my voice by itself. I'm sorry about that. What is my age? I am 30. Probably old for some of you guys out there, but yeah, 30 years old. Let's see, 30. Speaking of, right, 4 seconds times 24 is about 96. So what I do is I'm doing the math. So like I have a calculator here. You guys don't necessarily. It doesn't matter, but so I kind of have an idea, even though I know the numbers of what each second is, I just like to make sure that I have a calculator here just to keep it more. So I want to have this shot last 4 seconds. So I do that times 24, which is 96, of course, and then add that by 432, which is 528. And if I go to 530, just because I like the round numbers, it's not going to make that much of a difference. So I just zoom in a little bit here. Slow down the animation. So I still have about 300 frames to go. Man, these guys got my whole Ask me he's like, where'd you go to school? What's your age? What's your job? What's going on? Cool. Black Panther arm wrestling match between Hulk and Juggernaut. Who would win? That's a very good conversation. I would love to make an animation about that. So we have that here. Then I kind of want to do another aerial shot, but now I want to add in the fact that he's here. We'll do this 100 frames, right? Yeah. We'll do 100 on this. This here. So if my character is here, right? This is gonna get really mathematical in a second. My character is nope. I'll keep that here. My character is here between like 6 and 8. What I want to do is kind of make sure that my character stays between 6 and 8. This is how, when I cut from here to here, you kind of know that the character is still in the same spot. This is composition. So here it's not too bad. Right? So, boom. So that's, oh, this is fast, no? I feel like way too fast, way too much. Perfect. So that way, at least, you know, boom, characters here, boom, characters there, boom, characters there. So it kind of gives you an idea like who our main focus is, and is always in frame. Okay, mathematics off. So this too close. So we're gonna zoom out. Ooh, I like doing weird shots. Like, I'm glad I put this in so I can kind of keep this in the foreground. It would give great depth of feel. I would make sure that my character is between 6 and the 8. I don't know if I can do that. I can. For sure I can. Perfect. That's probably as close as it can be. And then rotate that around until another about 4 seconds. Just keep that here. Yeah, this is definitely going to be the composition stream. This is what, yeah, this is how I base off a lot of my, so does the grid help you measure? Yes, it does. It helps me, let me know where the center of the frame is. This is good to let me know exactly what the center of my frame is. And then, like, say if I need to do rule of thirds, that's usually around, 7, 8, 7, 8. So, 1, 2, 3. So you kind of want to have your character hit the certain points. So it kind of keeps everything in check. I know Blender and other programs have maybe a little more efficient ways of doing it with actually a thirds button, but this helps me out just fine. Let's see. Boom. Boom. We're going to keep that linear, actually. I want to do this linear. And then 631. What's going on, Campbell T? Welcome to the stream. So we'll have one of the characters here. Yeah, let's we're gonna do a nice little. I'll do a close-up. Yeah, let's do a close-up of this guy. I don't know what this guy is. Let's do a close-up and we'll do about the same speed, same run. Everything's about the same speed now. 6:30, so 7:30. So I'm gonna zoom in here. I'll just keep everything linear. And then from then, we are everything 865, right? So we've got about 130, about 5 seconds until we're about to get hype. So what we're gonna do now is do a hero shot here. That should be more to the side, I believe. But we'll fix that later. So we're gonna do a hero shot, which is for I call it a hero shot. We're gonna start relatively. Did I ever fix the? I never did fix the focal length. What's going on here, Cliff? Let's see. That's fine. Oh yeah, everything's a lot more closer now. This I might switch back to 25 actually. I like that shot. Yeah, I like that at 25. This I'll keep at 35. And then I'll keep this at 25. So I like the way that shot looked. And then we will do the hero shot at 35. No need to make that 25. Awesome. So we're gonna do, I call it hero shot. So what we're gonna do actually is start a little above here and take our time to get to 8 here, but we're gonna zoom in a little bit, and I actually want to keep things a little off-centered here. And to do that, I should have had him start there too. A slow, flat, whoop. And then from here we're gonna, now my style particularly, I like to go ahead and animate things up a bit. It's just kind of like my style, realistic renders and animating up my stream. So what we're gonna do here is a shot of the feet. So $865 or $860. Oh, no, $865. Then that should be right when the beat drops. I don't particularly know what I'm going to do next. Well, I do know what I'm going to do next. So about halfway in, destroy. He's good here, he's good here. And then we're gonna do ahead and do something. Anticipate. Boom, and gone here. And that's what we're gonna do. Boom. That's some very anime, but I love it. So let's go ahead and just get our project going. And I might be it, because this is looking pretty good as it is. And this kind of gives an established point. So what I'm going to do, even though I didn't touch the other guys whatsoever, but it gave me a great reference point, I'm going to play with the music and see how it goes. I definitely got some work to do for tomorrow. Let's see. Alright, let me see if I can get the thing playing at the same time. That could be slower. Oh no, gotta fix that. Gotta fix that too. Yeah. And then you just start that fight. So a couple of the shots there kind of move at different speeds, different paces, and he needs to move slower. This is completely off. This is completely off. Yeah, because he goes from one thing there to the other. So let me make sure this is still 25. Yeah. I think it's good, but before I start any automation, I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. And the next time, be sure to look on the stream. Be sure to look on the stream for it. I'll just keep this on loop. Be sure to look at the stream for it. I'll keep this on my list of animations to do on streams along with my Ruby animation. So I'm probably gonna get this done a lot quicker than a Ruby animation for sure. It's kind of the similar thing, whereas one person with an axe is attacking a whole bunch of people. But this is a little more fluid. I don't have so much pressure as much as I do with the Ruby one. So if you guys liked it, let me know. I'm gonna be doing more. Let me know if you guys want to see more this week, or you like it once a week. I'm not really too sure. I don't want to overload you guys on the channel. At the same time, I want to make sure I give as much as possible. So thank you guys so much for watching. I think I did pretty good here. Don't worry, I will be cleaning this up outside of stream, so it's not too boring. That way we can go right into the fighting animation, which is coming up right now. It's coming up next. Already got the 30 seconds down packed. Of course, I need to make them poses and all that stuff, and he's gonna have an idle animation and anything like that. But this was fun. This is definitely fun to do. I completely forget to put the music on, but we are done here for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next stream. Bye, guys.